3, 4.
Hello and welcome to Edmonton in Canada for the UIAA World Championship. There's a lot on the line here this morning as we run into the women's semi-final round. My name is Matt Groom and I'm joined in the commentary box today by JJ, part of Team Poland. JJ, good morning. Welcome to Canada. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm good. I think it's going to be really exciting.
It is indeed. Well, we're looking right now at the ice structure, the sculpture in the middle, and these are the women who will be competing for us today. 16 have got through to the semi-finals. We're looking for just 8 to make it through into tonight's final. We also have the men's semi-final going on later on. So these women are going to be up against it, and this is the cup standings. Sorry, I think I said the start list. Cup standings. So these are the women who are on top. Wu Xin Shin leading the way with 200 points, but everything can change. And JJ, for these women out here, you've climbed on this structure yesterday. Just tell us a bit about your qualifying round, because it didn't go necessarily to plan, because you're in here in the commentary box with me. But what's it like out there on the ice?
I just want to say it was pretty close, but I didn't make it. The structure is a little bit different than other World Cup structures. It's smaller, it's not as tall. It's all plywood. A lot of the structures have softer wood, so the way you have to kick is a little bit different. It's also very well supported, unlike Korea, the plywood itself. So just like kicking technique is different. And it's a lot of powerful moves.
Yeah, it's short bouldery almost, the style. And these women we're looking at now, they're the ones who currently this is their standing. So obviously looking to improve on their score, because this is a World Cup as well as a World Championship.
It is. It might be a little bit confusing for some people, but it is both.
So points available, but of course we do want to find our world champion. Now do go and watch the speed competition if you haven't already. That was last night. We crowned our world champs. We're not going to give it away necessarily. We might have to talk about a few athletes as they come out, but we'll try to stop the spoilers if you haven't seen it already. And do say hello if you're on YouTube, you're watching. Jan Havel is joining us, of course, as he's been all season, but let us know where you're watching from in the world. What time is it? Because it's coming up to 9:30 Canadian time here. And JJ, the atmosphere in the stadium, we are surrounded by skyscrapers. It's kind of unique.
It is very different. I think all the other structures are in the mountain setting. I think that was like part of the original plan for the World Cup, to always pick like little towns in the mountains. So this is very different indeed.
It is, isn't it? It's like urban styly. I like it, to be honest. I think it feels good. And also people walking past, they see this, they come in and they get to check out this sport.
Yeah, definitely. The skyscrapers, they look very different. They reflect the sky. So it still has the ice and like sky kind of vibe, with an extra like being in the center of a city. I
agree. I like the reflections as well. Photographers are enjoying it. There's lots of people joining us. Tyler from Alaska, 7:30 a.m. Good morning to you, sir. Jan Havel's in Prague, of course, 5:30 in the evening. Wow, my body clock is absolutely out of it. Now, Nicole Merciel comes on wearing the classic French sparkly face glitter, which has become a bit of a thing for Team France at the moment.
It is. I've seen that before. Oh, seems like Nicole also has that.
Yeah, she does. And trying to find the starting position indicated by that blue spray. Starts in the ice, which big holes in there, but a bit of a slippery start for the athletes early on. And Caitlin's family watching from Glasgow. Hello, Mr. Biker Smith. Your daughter will be on later on today. If it is daughter, said family. I've presumed something there. Apologies, Biker Smith. Hello to Patrick. We're underway here. Nicole starting for Team USA. Nice and smooth. And this is that plywood you were saying to kick into. So does it feel good out there on the wall today?
So the plywood, it's actually hardwood. So you have to kick in a little bit harder, as you can see. You have to have really sharp front points.
Yeah, and she's reaching up off that Stein pull, moving quickly through the bottom sequence of moves. First quick draw is pre-clipped.
Yes, and it's pretty high on the structure, so it seems pretty safe.
Yeah, we don't want any accidents going down. And Nicole, nice and smooth, up to the first clip, but there, first little moment, that left foot coming out of the plywood. You have got to kick hard. Hello to Maury Birdwell, thank you very much for your message on YouTube, appreciate that. Glad you enjoyed the film, thank you so much. And look, a bit of a float, well, it looked like a floating Stein ball, but now she's got the head of the axe, the cheeks pressing against the wall.
It is a Stein. She mashes on the Stein.
I like the multicoloured handles on the axes as well, really cool. Well, she gets stood up on the Stein, low beneath her. Now reaches up into a little side pull star move. Bit of a reverse grip going on. She makes the first of the clips. Look at those skyscrapers. It's so cool with that reflection in the background. Oh, she falls though.
Oh.
Well, that was unexpected. She went before I realised she was going. Did you see what happened? We need a replay of that, I think.
I did not see what happened. I'm assuming she was in a side pull, and maybe it was like a very technical hold.
Yeah, well, hopefully we can get another look at that, because she just suddenly went. It was standing up when she made the movement. Axes coming off, and this is why this sport is so good, just because in a second everything can change. Well, Nicole will obviously be in provisional first place, first athlete out. But let's see a replay of that, because it happens so quick. You blink and you missed it. Let's have a little watch. So adjusting the feet, keep an eye on this. It's the right pick, just blew.
Yeah, it is possible. It's a very directional hold, and you have to kind of like stay low on that. But we will see how the other athletes go about it.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, well, first athlete out, first fall, and it was a fairly early one. So, hello to everyone on YouTube. Let's do an emoji game, shall we? Find the most stupid emoji you can possibly find in the shortest period of time. Send it to me just to let me know you're awake and watching. I've just dropped some kind of a blue, three-eyed emoji. I don't know what that is, but do say hello if you're watching. And any questions for JJ, do send them in. He's our athlete expert next to me in the commentary box, and he'll be able to answer all of your questions, because this sport is crazy. And we saw, JJ, quite a few, I don't want to say accidents, but bloody moments yesterday during qualifying. We had teeth exploding all over the place. It was full on.
Yeah, that was actually crazy. I do not know how it happened, but we did see some teeth. We saw one Polish athlete got hooked with a tool.
Yes.
So
hanging on the wall, spiked through his shoulder, right?
He did have the pick of the tool in his shoulder.
Unbelievable. I mean, I missed all of these moments, which I'm quite glad I didn't see them. I think I would have got all shaky about it. But this sport is tough. What you guys do out there, I think we can class this as an extreme sport, surely.
Well, we definitely have 4 very sharp points that we climb with, so it is a lot of unexpected things can happen, a lot more than in sport climbing.
Absolutely, it's tough. Well, that's the starting holds. It's ice down low. Caitlin Connor is up next. Hello to the emojis, very nice. They're particularly weird. Yes, wow, I didn't even know they exist. Outdoors with Tommy G, especially with the blue ghost emoji. I like that. And while you're doing that, do make sure you subscribe to the UIAA notifications and all that malarkey. Okay, right.
It is quite nice when the routes start on ice. It gives you more of a ice climbing feeling, even though then like the next 50 holes are
all dry tooling. No, I agree with you. I mean, it's something that a lot of people always comment on is the lack of ice for ice climbing, but it's mainly to keep the consistency the same, because obviously ice changes, plastic holds do not. Caitlin is now onto the plywood, but as we know, hard moves down low on this wall, so there's a lot to watch out for. She stands up tall, kicks those feet in, and reaches up to a high stein pull above her head.
Yes, very nice.
Yeah, strong on that left as she swaps, makes a big move, and she'll enjoy those early big moves, just get the body moving, the blood pumping. And you'll see a few things on screen now. So left-hand side, that is the leaderboard. So Nicole was out first, fairly low fall on 10. And then bottom right is the other thing you have to watch out for. That is the clock. 6 minutes the women have to complete this route. And time can be a factor in this. It's easy to get timed out.
It is surprisingly easy. It doesn't matter if it's 3 minutes, 5 minutes, or 8 minutes. You can easily time out.
Yeah, and we see a lot of that. So speed is important. Now this is a hard move, a big one up here. Caitlin getting herself set, stretches up. Great British athlete, was competing in Sunderland a week ago. Makes the first clip. And now she's matching the 10 score, and she will jump up due to count back.
You can see how those long handles make it really easy to switch hands. So she was with her right hand on the long position, but now she's on short, and she could accomplish that by switching on the long handle.
Yeah, good spot that. And she's made this move as well. This wrap, though. She's having a long look at it, making sure of the placement. And Caitlin getting lots of support from YouTube here. It's at 4:30 back at home in the UK. And this is good moves. She drops into another Steinpull. Low grip.
Yes. Most of the time when you're moving up from a Stein like this, you actually want to go from the short handle, from like the second position, the one closer to the head, because that positions you closer to the wall.
Yeah.
So even if you're going up, you don't want to be on the first position, which is farther up. You want to be on the one that's closer to the wall. So that seems very counterintuitive to a lot of people. But
yes, it does. When you start thinking about the physics
this
of
is
it.
exactly what she's doing right now.
Yeah, she's very close to the wall and starting to hit this overhang, and things get really steep on this section. You go from sort of a slabby start, and then this roof kicks in.
Well, even the start is overhanging. Just to be clear.
Yes, it's true. That is true. I say slabby. I don't know what I'm talking about, but you know what I mean. It's like more vertical down low, and then really overhanging on this roof here. And she's got lots of encouragement, but 3 minutes, half her time gone already. Kicking out right, trying to get that foot in.
You can see how like kicking at an angle is a little bit hard on this wall.
Yeah, someone's saying it must be like kicking concrete. Is it that hard or not?
It is not as bad as concrete, but I think it's maple, so it is still pretty hard.
That's very Canadian.
It's definitely the hardest structure that we climbed on this year.
Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, conditions changing between the walls. But Caitlin makes the traverse over to the right. Looks set now for this. Next series of holds trend to the right. And then 14 is her score at the moment. Jan Havel, do climbers use binoculars? Yes, they do, in the same way as all athletes do to check it out, and especially relevant in ice climbing because the actually usable surface of the hold can be very small, and you have to make sure of it.
Yes, a lot of times you can see the active surface with binoculars. It's very helpful. Well,
Caitlin is got set now under the roof. Time is a bit of a factor. It's ticking down. 2 minutes on the clock. And that's the roof. That's the structure above. She moves onto those big blocks, onto the blue panel eventually, and then the head wall, which is hanging above the arena. And now this is a big move, though. Caitlin, no hesitation. Feet swing out. It was a wild move. She just saved it.
That was a nice move. Every time I'm watching semifinals, I'm thinking it would be really cool to climb it. Yeah. The moves look really fun.
Yeah, it's one of the most intense rounds just because we lose so many. And Caitlin trying to get set here, adjusting the hands with some high feet.
There is a lot of those Korean Yanga holds. Yanga means you take it sideways, the way that she's doing right now. You could say like hooking, hold from the side. In this competition, we have a lot of those.
Yeah, the route setting team. Oh, big slip from Caitlin, but she catches herself. That right foot doing a lot of work then. Anita is asking, is it cold there? Anita, it's not too bad. We're in a commentary box and it's okay. Outside it is fairly chilly this morning, but not the minus 20 it could have been. So it's not too bad. And the athletes have good warm-up facilities here inside. Anita, one of our para-climbers from the IFSC, who's getting into ice climbing, I think. Now, a big move over to these boxes. Not quite a dyno, but a big stretch, we think. Or maybe it is a dyno, actually.
Is it a move down? What do you think? Or is she going up?
It's hard to tell. It's either that green or blue.
It's down. It's down.
She's trying to get the stretch. So now she's got to drop onto that right arm, and it's a precarious position, this.
She has to be careful with the rope.
Oh, yeah, true. Doesn't want to hook it or get caught in it. 5 seconds, though.
One more hold. Yes, she got it.
Well, we should just point out at this stage, that clock on screen is not 100% linked in, so it might be a couple of seconds over or under time. So just that more for people watching at home, that clock more of a guideline than an exact score time. Right, Caitlin comes down. 21 is her provisional score. And do remember that these scores can change. We go off air at some point, and there are appeals that come through, so just be aware of that. Anita saying it looks hot. It's not hot, Anita. It's not hot out there. There's a lot of ice. But it's not too bad. How do you guys warm up for something like this? I mean, it's got to be difficult.
Well, warming up, as in just like staying warm, is pretty easy. You can just run around and you're going to get warm. The hardest part is like to warm up your forearms. Or like, you know, like there is no equipment in the tent. Like you cannot do like deadlifts and or hangs. So that's the hardest part. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
There is a warm up kind of like a warm-up wall set up in the building next to the structure. You can also like run back to your hotel and like use the local gym or something. But yes, being warmed up is usually part of the challenge.
Yeah, I mean, hot hands as well. I mean, it is challenging because personally, I get the sort of hot aches, we call it. You know, the screaming barfies. I think when you get very cold and very hot hands.
Yeah, the thing is, the climbs are pretty short, right? So for 5 minutes, it's not too hard to stay warm. So you come out of a warm tent with space heaters. Usually you warm up your axes as well, so your axes are warm. And for 5 minutes, it's enough.
Okay, well, I'll take your word for it. I'm not sure I'd want to be out there, but you guys are far tougher than me. Well, hello, if you're joining us, welcome to Edmonton. This is the World Championships and a World Cup all at the same time, and this is the women's semi-final. After the women's semi-final, we have a bit of a break, about an hour and a bit, for you guys to have a drink, chill out, and then we do the men's semi-final. -13, there you go, that's the temperature out there this morning, so not too bad, but certainly a bit chilly. My toes have gone a bit cold.
The coldest competition I've been to is in Champagny last year. It was -27 in the morning.
Yeah, I was there. It was brutal. I was trying to do as little as possible. All right, next athlete out, it's Erika. She's a horse rider, competitive horse rider, bit of a legend, and has qualified in pretty good position for this, third out. There's a long look at the wall, trying to reread the sequence. And JJ, I was watching during observation, a lot of the athletes were really checking out that bottom section, trying to figure it out. It's not straightforward through that.
Yeah, we could see that it's not as straightforward as the qualifiers.
Yeah.
The qualifiers, the first non-overhanging or like slightly overhanging section was pretty easy, and then it all kicked in the roof.
Okay.
It looks like here we have a little bit more non-trivial moves to do before you get to the roof.
Yes, absolutely. It starts down low. Well, Erika is straight through. Someone's commenting about the just one crampon on the front. Yeah, so they're mono points they use. And they're razor sharp, those mono points, in the fruit boots. So a bit different from mountaineering boots if you are coming from an alpine background. So Erika, nice and strong for the first couple of moves. Wants to make sure of it, just not slip off.
Yes, definitely. If you took a regular crampon, like the one that you use on ice, you would not be able to kick into this wall.
No.
There is no chance.
No, they're very thin, those crampons as well, and sharpened to an absolute razor point. Right, Erika, on the first of the big moves, reaches up to wrap that right axe around, using her mouth to swap the tools, and that's where we had this accident yesterday. A gentleman fell with the axe in his mouth and broke his jaw. That's what I've been told. So,
oh, is it?
Yeah, apparently so. He's in dental surgery, so wish him best of luck. Paul Brown is asking, is it normal for climbers to run out of time? Yeah, I know what you mean. We don't see that on IFSC competitions, but in ice climbing we do see it a lot. The athletes have enormous endurance, but time is a factor.
I indeed timed out twice yesterday.
Okay. Well, there we go. Exact example of it. Now, you have got to climb quickly, and it's interesting the amount of... a slip, a very early fall. And, yeah, a bit of a shrug of her shoulders there.
This is the same hold that Nicole fell on.
Yeah, disappointment from her. She's down only on 10, exactly the same place, in fact. So that hold is problematic. Let's have a look at a replay, shall we? I mean, we think it was the same issue. That was just after the fall, and yeah, very disappointed, and a big shrug of her shoulders.
Sometimes holds are not what they look like, and so you think you could pull a little bit more upwards in it, and you can't. And sometimes it's not really possible to test it. So what a lot of climbers do is they try to hold them with their hands, because you have a much better feel with your hands. Or they kind of like pull up and look at the hold.
Okay, so you just want to have a little look at what you're in.
But both things cost time, and as we just talked about it, you can time out, so you cannot really like test every single hold before you move off of it.
Yes, it's a very good point, trying to balance that. Well, Nikki is enjoying it. We're reading the chat. We are definitely reading the chat. So if you've got anything to say, any questions, I've got JJ, pro Polish athlete, next to me who can answer your technical questions, and I'll be able to answer all the Canadian-based maple syrup questions. I'm enjoying being in Canada. It's fun. My first time here.
Oh, nice. Have you had Timbits?
What? No, what are they?
Oh, Timbits. It's the most Canadian thing I heard. It's like little donuts.
No, I haven't. I haven't even had poutine. I've done nothing
man.
Canadian. I know, it's terrible. Although I have got a ginger ale in front of me, so that's Canadian, right?
It says Canada Dry.
Canada
so,
Dry, exactly.
Yeah, must be Canadian.
Yes, many cups of coffee. Well, look at those hanging boxes. I love the blue and white pattern on them. Really, really cool. Who's got a question? Andrew's got a question. Who was on the route setting team for this event? The lead setter is the same. He's been at most of the World Cups, Korean, and I cannot remember his name, which is very embarrassing. But he's the same gentleman.
So I don't actually know who is the head setter, but is it Min?
Yes, I think it is Min, yeah. And he's been, well, I'm not sure if he's a head setter, but he's certainly here and he has been the head setter. But I think the core team is a bit different here in Canada. Right, Maria comes on, big smile on her face, looking very relaxed out there.
Marianne is asking if I'm working on making new holds. Yes, I have a lot of new holds.
Do you make holds? I didn't know
I
this.
do make holds.
Okay. Tell me about the holds. What are they like?
They're all sorts of shapes and forms.
Plastic holds, metal holds?
I started with aluminum, but it turned out to be too soft.
Okay.
So I didn't like that very much, and now I'm just making steel holds.
Okay, excellent. We're going to talk more holds later on because I'm fascinated by the holds. Maria is underway off the ice onto some holds, making sure of her feet as she kicks her way upwards. First panel, but we know that 10 is the first real crux for the women. That's coming up soon. Off this Steinpool, big move. She adjusts those hands. Got a very long grip on.
This is a tool that I designed, so I know this tool very well.
Tell me about the tool.
It's called Morpho. I designed it not for competitions, actually. I designed it for hard mixed climbing, but it seems to be doing fine.
So you literally made those axes?
I made those axes.
Wow,
yes.
that's so cool. All right, I need to know more about those. Oh, she's into this fighting. This is the move, though, off of the 8. And she is being a bit tenuous here. Reverse grip.
I think it's one of those situations where you are not sure if it's a Stein or a floater, but it seems to work in both ways.
Yeah, she was very careful, but she's got through it now. Makes the long clip. And she moves past that danger hold, or moving anyway. Up towards the wrap. Gets it, but she pops as well. Another to fall in the same place.
She did get the next hold. I think what you have to do is you really have to lock off pretty hard, and as soon as you pull out, you're off.
We are seeing early falls. She had her head in her hands as well. Yeah, look comfortable, and suddenly it just goes.
Her tool is stuck on the next hold, though, which means that she's above Nicole, I think, in the ranking.
Yeah, I think she might be as well. Wait for confirmation of that. We will get a replay of that fall again because it's worth watching this one. So she starts to move up towards the left. She almost got the wrap with the left axe, but she had it fully hooked and then just slipped onto it, and it was a bit low to save herself. She goes down. We're just getting that ice axe back, which is stuck. Oh, he's a brave setter as he goes onto the wall. I hope he's strapped in somewhere. I hope he's tied in. Nikki is asking, do they swap out the wood panels over the weekend? No, they don't. They last quite a long time, those panels. You do need to swap them out, every couple of years, maybe?
Yeah, especially the hardwood probably lasts a long time.
Yeah.
And the wall is big. It's not as big as other structures, but it's still really big. So if like the next route goes in a slightly different way, like you're not going to kick at the same places, right?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, it doesn't get too chewed up. The ice does, though. We had the speed yesterday, and that got very chewed up.
Ice definitely does.
Yeah, so don't worry about that. But it's a good question. Thank you for that one. And that's the roof the athletes go through. So we've had 4 climbing already and 2 fairly early falls in this women's competition at the moment. Nicole started things off with falling on that 10, and we knew it was a danger zone, but it's proven to be the case. So a risky place on the wall, that. Right, that is the axe retrieved. That was stuck up on the wall, so that's off now. Gentlemen, taking it back to its owner.
So Maria got 0.1 point for touching the next hold.
And just explain that briefly for us, because it's 0.1 if you touch the hold.
It is 0.1 when you just touch any part of the hold, It's 0.2 if you touch the kind of like the active surface and you're like engaging with the hold, and then it's a full point when you remove the axe from the previous hold.
There we go. Thank you very much. That changed this year from a previous system. So it's a bit different if you were used to the old one, but I think it works a bit better. It allows a bit more separation, I think.
It is easier to tell which one it is, because like in the previous system there was like not a clear definition of what being engaged with the hold means, and so it was more up to interpretation. Yeah,
interpretation is something we want to avoid. The judges have a hard enough job as it is, so hopefully the rules tightened up a little bit this year. Well, we're just waiting for Annetta to come out onto the stage, and we will have to, I'm just going to let you know that I might have to reveal some stuff here. So if you haven't watched the speed and you don't want to know who won, you might want to look away for one athlete, or not who won, but what happened in that competition, because it is relevant to this. So there is Annetta. So yeah, spoiler alert, everyone. Is everyone warned? Okay. Well, Annetta won the Women's World Championship for speed yesterday, and I bumped into her today in the ISO, and she was telling me because of anti-doping she got very little sleep, so she's exhausted and she's a world champion, so she's not really expecting anything out of this. So anything she can get will be a plus for Annetta. Jan Havel is an Annetta fan.
She was also held in the anti-doping tent in Korea.
Oh, really?
For long hours.
she has the curse, apparently. She's notorious for it. Well, Annetta is underway, though, climbing fairly quickly. And time for her is an issue. Although she is a speed world champion, she does sometimes get timed out, which is kind of ironic. So she needs to climb quickly.
It is different, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you time out on lead, not because you're too slow, like in the sense of like physical slow, but because you have to make really fast decisions.
Yeah, it's something she's trying to work on.
And a lot of times you just have to take risks.
Well, let's see if she's in a risky move this morning. She has got nothing to lose. Lots of support on the YouTube chat as well. People liking Annetta's climbing. She's through the first big move quite easily, and then into this tricky sort of floating. It starts off floating.
Yes, she decided not to stein it at all.
Oh gosh, it's shaking away. This is a risky way of doing this. Lots of body tension required for this move.
This is definitely the harder way to do it, but I would argue it's actually safer. If you don't try to stein, you're not like, and because you never know if it steins or not.
That's true.
So
I guess,
if you never try to stein, I think you're safer, but it definitely takes a lot more body tension and so you have to spend a lot more energy.
Yeah,
so this is the hard move. That
she looks solid. That right axe is locked in.
She does look really solid.
Checks the feet, shakes out, stands up, adjusts the hands. Good work from Annetta. And she's up into second place already. That just shows these early falls. But this stein pull way out to the right. And she doesn't like the look of that. Goes for the hand. Readjusts back to the axe. You can use your hand.
As you can see, there's probably no like good spot in the stein. It's just a resin blob. And you have to hook one point of it.
Yeah, look, you can see there's none of the axe, the pick really engaged in that hold. What a great shot that is from the camera team. All right, Annetta goes up, again tenuous, stretching up, ignoring that tool underneath her. Her axe is, I know she had a bit of a breakage of the axes, so these aren't her regular axes, which is another factor for this.
I think she's actually climbing on two different axes right now. They look very similar, but I think these are two different versions of the Anchar.
Yeah, she had a bit of a moment with one of the axes.
One is 4.6 and one is 4.1.
Well, she's into the overhang. Caitlin's score 20. She's at 14 at the moment, so some way to go before jumping up. Stretching up into the steeper part of the wall now.
There's a question on what tools. Oh yeah, I just answered it without even reading the question.
There you go. Read the mind. Well, that's some of our audience who are watching, giving some encouragement down low.
There we go, everybody. Let's cheer her on.
Annetta getting a lot of support here on the chat. Do make sure you're sending that. She'll read it later and she will appreciate it. Oh, this is another move she's making look really tenuous.
This was the second move that looked really hard on this wrap.
It does, doesn't it? Up towards the wrap, hasn't clipped either, so I'll have to sort that out in a second. Flicks the feet around and slings that axe over her shoulder in order to make the clip. 2 minutes 24 on the clock as well. She's got to be careful of time here.
She is ahead of Caitlin, though.
In terms of time, yeah.
In terms of time.
Yeah, a couple more holds to go, and she's having just a bit of trouble removing that right axe. There she goes.
She's trying to use that previous hold to get into figure 4. It's always a little bit harder if you only have one point of contact.
Yeah, she was slow to bring that leg up, but now has it wrapped in. Moves up towards 18, and now this long move to come, stretching out right. Once she's got clipped and set, there's a double clip here to be had. Looks back behind her shoulder. It's climbing going really 3D at this point. All right, well, that's the clipping done. She now just needs to focus on this next move, and it is a big stretch over towards that box behind her. But look at this, no hesitation from Annetta. That's positive climbing from her. Immediately hits the fig 4 as well, drops down onto it and gets a bit tangled up. But she's up into the number 1 spot, 20 on the board. What a weekend she's having at the moment. Well, she's locked in now. Less than a minute to go, though. Hits another fig 4.
That's a figure 9.
Oh, sorry, figure 9. And it's not that. Oh, just gets that left foot in underneath to steady herself. I thought she was in trouble there. And it's traverse underneath with bad feet. You're kicking upwards into the box. That left axe and stuck. You don't want to drop it. And she has got the handle caught underneath.
Yes, this is always a hard situation where the handle gets on the edge of the bottom edge of the box.
She's doing well here. Hello to the UIAA who's joining us. Yeah, reminding us to follow the Instagram. That is true. Great pictures, great video from the event on the Instagram. Annetta getting timed out here. Needs to flick that rope around the box.
I think she missed the clip.
Oh, yeah, she has. She can't get that. It's going to be a big swing back down. Well, she's been timed out, but yeah, that's the swing she's got to have, and she's got to be a bit careful here because you've got to avoid the wall. So, Bila, I hope you're paying attention here.
Oh, no.
Oh, and the axe is stuck.
That's bad.
Yes, that is bad. Well, that's not great. So that's just trapped, and obviously you don't want to be lowered too far because she's then going to ping off into the wall. Oh, goodness me. All right, so yeah, this is a bit, if you know climbing, this is a bit of a...
This is not a good situation because the axe flexes and then it can spring in pretty much any direction.
Yeah, this is
that's a really good save.
It's still a bit tenuous, this. This is not really what we want to be seeing right now, so it's a bit risky. Annetta needs to flick that axe out and then take the swing as well, so that's got to come. And she must be tired by now as well. Right, she's got it released, catches the axe, just has the dismount. Oh, goodness me.
That was probably the safest way out of this situation.
Yeah, she did very well to save that one. How she had the strength to pull up, I don't know. Well, our Speed World Champion comes back down to the ground, currently in first position after the semis hits the ground.
Well, safely came down. That is the most important thing.
Yeah, not a bad round, that. You can see the pink bobble on the back of the helmet. That's her trademark. And the Tasmanian Devil as well. She's a zookeeper. Just to add to her intrigue. Well, Annetta is done. Currently in first position. We'll have to see if that will stand. Some strong athletes to come.
I think the flowers in the helmet is generally a Czech thing.
Okay.
An older ice climber from Czech Republic, Lucy, she also had those kind of things in the back of her helmet.
Annetta waves to the audience watching at home. She got big support on the YouTube chat. Outdoors with Thomas saying someone buy her a hot chocolate. Yeah, send a hot chocolate if you will.
Anyone else further?
No, you're at the high point.
Oh, she gets confirmation there that she's the current high point. You can see the quick draws swinging through the roof where she came before. So we climb by Annetta. And just 8, though, will move forward into the final. So we lose half the field this morning. And yeah, so the UIA came on and talked about the Instagram as they look at the rope and make sure, because obviously it got caught up in that act. So yes, you can check out the UIAA Instagram. It's UIA_ice climbing to follow the tour. So go have a little follow of that. And subscribe to the YouTube channel while we're here. We're trying to grow this thing, so it'd be good to have you.
So in the previous years, the scoring worked a little bit differently, and clips counted more than holds, which made athletes clip above the head a lot more. And we've generally seen a lot of really crazy falls in this kind of situations. Because if you think about it, like if she was on this box and she knew that the next clip counts more than moving to the next hold, she would definitely think about clipping it first.
That's true, yeah. So the athlete's clipping less high and therefore we're getting bigger falls.
That is one thing, but then like also if you climb with the tools, things like we've just seen can happen.
Yeah.
Where like the rope goes over a trigger of the tool, or I think Tyler actually in Saspet core shot a rope. So there was a move down to a Stein, and his tool caught on the rope, like the pick itself, and it slid through the rope. And then, yeah, it just creates a lot of bad situations for ropes, and
it's funny how
get tangled.
How like a little change in the score can really affect so many other things you don't necessarily think of straight away. All right, Lorena Beck, she was competing last night in the speed as well. See if she's recovered properly. Gets herself set. Has a check at the clock behind her, and she's underway as we get going here. Easy round the corner, but there is that risky low move, remember, so don't count it out until she's got through that. Sina Gertz qualifying in last position. She'll be out. Someone's asking who's in the box. Yes, I've got JJ. JJ, second name. Tell us your I don't actually know your second name off the top of my head.
Well, so my first name is Jędrzej, but it's really hard to pronounce for everyone who's not from Poland, so I just go by JJ.
And how can people get you on Instagram? People can have a look.
I'm on Instagram, and actually that's my full name, Jędrzej Jabłoński, so it is still going to be really hard for people to spell.
All right, well, we'll try to find JJ if you want to go and follow him. And we're right now watching Lorena, athlete number 6, out on the wall. This is where things are hard down low. Big, standing up high from that first Steinpool. Tenuous stuff as she pulls up, just having a look at her picks, making sure it's in the right place. Crosses that leg over. And she's, interesting to get the figure 4 in this position. Not many have done that.
She definitely had her axe in a different like at a different angle than the previous athletes.
Yeah, totally different body position in order to get through that. Well, she's now got this side pull in, has moved past the hard move, as the Stein pull locked, reaches up above her head. Now into the roof part of this climb. The traverse over to the right. She's doing well on time as well. She's been quick through that bottom.
That is true.
Making sure the feet, a bit of a twist in the body in order to reach up to the next wrap. Had to adjust the pick there to make sure she was on the right section of that hold. Another fig 4 in. A floating Steinpool. Now, when we say floating, we mean that the cheeks, the head of the axe, is not pressing against the wall. That's what a floating Steinpool.
Well, we call it a floating undercling.
Okay.
This is like analogous to an undercling in the rock climbing. And Stein actually means that the cheek is pressed against the plywood or a volume.
Yeah, so difference in those two holds. One a bit more powerful than the other. Wraps around just the pick on the screw there sticking out. Crazy when you see a close-up of those holds. But she's doing really well here. This is fast climbing. You can see our top 3. 23 is Anetta's high point.
He still has over 2.5 minutes, which is a really good time.
Yeah, it is. Well, she's through the roof. And needs to get this double clip in and then go back behind her. This is where things start to get 3D. Hello from Chile. Awesome from Leonardo, who's watching from there. Jakob is asking what happens if an athlete drops an axe. If the axe hits the ground, that's it. That's their run over. So they don't want to do that. They can sometimes leave it behind a bit. You know, if you let go of it and it's still on the wall, that's fine, as long as you retrieve it. And there is Annetta giving some support.
And in fact, you cannot drop anything. If you drop your glove or anything else, that's over.
Oh, really? So if anything hits the ground? Okay. I didn't know that. Yeah, so you don't want to drop anything.
Now, that's where she needs to clip. Instead of moving to that hold, she really needs to clip.
Yeah, she does. It's above her head, isn't it? That blue draw you're talking about on the left. Yeah, you're right. She's super low. I'm not sure how she's going to reach that.
I'm not sure. Maybe the route goes left after the rock.
Well, she's got a minute and a half, so plenty of time. This is where Annetta got to. So gets the hold wrapped in. Yeah, I'm presuming you go up and then you make that clip, but it's a weird position.
Next hold is looks like a granite rock hold with just like a tiny little spot at the top that's the active surface.
Yeah, some of the hole, she does fall off it though and back down to the ground. The camera not keeping up with her as she swings around wildly. So one hold under Annetta's score there. Tyler on YouTube is saying the clip looks high. Yeah, it does look high. We haven't quite worked out how the athletes clip it yet. I'm sure we'll find out at some point, but so far no one's managing it. She's... Oh, Lorena's back down. A second position for her as things stand. Smart stone, Tyler's saying. Yes, we were calling it a granite hold, but yeah, smart stone is the technical term, I guess, for that hold. Let's have a look at it again. She had the right foot, right arm in, tried to bring the right foot all the way around her body, getting pumped out. That left axe staying still, right slipping. Well, Lorena will go back to the audience who have been gathering here this morning. Job done for her. She has to wait now, see if that's enough. Jan Havel saying flying axes are making him nervous. Yes, makes everyone nervous. You can't go anywhere near that wall, and I know this because I get shouted at quite a lot, without a helmet on. You have to have it. Now, I'm getting comments from the YouTube chat about how I mispronounce this next athlete's name. Labriella. I always say Labrielle. So Vivian Labrielle. Apologies, I messed that up, Matthew, but thanks for pointing that out. So Vivian is out next. And there's JJ's Instagram. We were talking about it earlier. It's on the screen. So JJ, if you want to follow the Polish legend next to me, that's who you go and follow.
That is me, indeed.
That is you, sir. Instagram famous right now. Expect millions of followers straight away, immediately.
Nice. I'll keep looking.
Yes, do. Don't let me down now if you're watching at home. Got to go follow JJ, otherwise I look like a fool. Well, we're waiting for our next athlete, who is Vivian out, which nearing the halfway mark of this comp. Olga will hit the halfway mark, athlete number 8. The athletes coming out in the opposite order from where they qualify. So those who are out first qualified in last, and vice versa towards the end. And the men's comes later on. And then the men and women's final taking place at the same time tonight. And those are the starting holds we're looking at. Look at that artistic shot as we come around a corner and find our climber. Beautiful stuff, guys. Like it.
Nice.
It's gorgeous, isn't it? Lovely camera work there.
I still have a little bit of that blue paint from Saspe on my tools.
So Vivian rotating those arms, trying to get some blood down into her limbs. Apparently I'm still saying her name wrong. I'm just going to call her Vivian, okay? I'm going to ignore the second name. I'm rubbish at this. Thank you, Matthew. I said first part I was doing correctly, and now the end is correct. Ah, unbelievable. I'll try. Well, Vivian is underway anyway. Easy through the first couple of holds, as we'd expect. Matching on that small hold down low into the first of the Stein pools. Hello from Cork. Yes, people watching from Ireland. That's good to know. Evening time in Europe right now, I think. So hopefully you guys are kicking back on this, what is it, Sunday. So Sunday evening. Having a nice relaxing Sunday, I hope, if you're at home. Vivian was fast. Now she's using her hand, and they can do that, can't they? You are allowed to use your hand. You can climb the whole thing with your hands if you want.
Yes, you can use your hands and holds and volumes. Even on since this season, you can hold the tops of boxes, and so that was like one of the unintended beta for one of the qualifiers that you could hold the top of the box with your hand.
Okay, like almost mantle up onto it sometimes. Well, she's in the danger point, Ho. We've seen a few athletes fall here. Needs to make sure of this right axe. Locks it off. Reaches up, and now she should be good as she gets the wrap in. Yeah, moves through it.
So she used that hold the way that others did, except for Lorena. And then it requires a really deep lock off.
Yeah, it does. She had to really lock that right arm.
Lorena did something different that made the move look a lot easier, but you really can't always tell from just what you see in the video.
All right, stretching up into the transition from the more vertical section into the roof. Momentarily loses that right foot. Low grip on the left axe. And then she starts this traverse towards the edge of the structure. Yeah, this is built especially for this event. Outdoors with Tommy G is addicted to this sport. Good Outdoors with Tommy G. I'm glad. It is quite addictive, isn't it? It's certainly nerve-wracking when you watch it, just because it's so unexpected. Something can happen at any moment. Yeah. Oh, and look, that is something unexpected. Didn't have that floating undercling in properly. There's not much for the pick then. She's got short picks as well.
Yes, I think it's very unclear where to grab it. That's why she went into figure four, because that gives you a little bit more time. Like, without a figure four, she'll have to just pick one spot and go for it.
It looked better that time. Now she got higher on it.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of like a blob, you know? Like, there is no one place that is intended as an active surface.
Agreed. Well, she's got her hands in the undercling now, wrapping it underneath. And those golf gloves, though, that she's wearing are not the grippiest, so she'll want to move off that fairly quickly. That was smart climbing from her. Might have a bit cold hands, though, after that.
I was wondering if anyone would do that, but I thought the wall is too overhanging. But perhaps if you're really strong, you can actually grab it with your hand.
Yeah, a lot of these climbers are good rock climbers as well as ice climbers. And having that power does translate. All right, up above her head. 2 clips to go on this roof section. And then that tricky clip, which we haven't got anyone figured out yet, that blue one. I think they might clip it high because there's that green hold up next to it.
It is possible. It is possible.
It's a bit scary, isn't it? You've got to come all the way around that box, not get the rope caught.
So I think you could also clip it from the second hold on the box. But as I said, because clips don't really count towards your score, the athletes will avoid doing that until they get to the last position they can to clip it.
Yeah, and that's what's changed, isn't it? With this new scoring setup. All right, well, she pulls up, has a look over to the right. It's a span, not a jump, but you do need to drop down onto it, and it's a powerful move when you're tired here. Kicking over into the box.
Oh, she is going to clip it right now.
Okay, first one to get that in then. And I do think that's sensible, because then you can just sort of ignore it through this next part. Tries to wiggle that left axe out, dropping onto the right arm. This is a physical move coming up here, round the corner of the box. And for the first time, we're seeing her hesitate.
Looks like the anchors are exactly the size that will get stuck on this left hold. Because the handle is just barely under the bottom corner of the box.
Yeah, you're right. And she almost got it stuck. Flicked it out, though. All right, now hanging, but with that clip in, so she doesn't need to worry about it.
That was really precise. Got the first go.
Yeah, it's so powerful. Coming over the lip of that box. It's a bit blind. You're underneath it. It's awkward. And you need full commitment because of all these moves you have to do. And this could move her up above Anetta's score here if she can get the next hold. But she's struggling a little bit, kicking under the box and around the corner. Oh, slip of the feet there. Oh, that's a huge... I don't know how she saved that. This was no points of contact for a second. Jumped the axe and does eventually fall. Yeah, she bumped the whole axe. She was on nothing. That was outrageous. Oh, what a fight from Vivian. She's got 22 at the moment on that score. We'll have to wait for that to be confirmed and possibly updated. We'll see. Huge breath there. She looks at someone in the audience. Good round there. People are enjoying that. Tyler is enjoying that. Let's see that. No, that big bump she did. That was outrageous. Fighting around on that hole for a long time. And eventually, I think, just getting pumped out on it.
I think that was part of the problem. And anytime you're like on a hole that you don't really trust, you usually overgrip. And there's very little you can do about this. So if you're already pumped and then you see this like super wobbly, small granite hole, you instantly get more pumped.
Oh, yes, it's true. Your body sort of tenses up, ready for it. Well, Vivian will go and join her teammates in the crowd. Great run from her. And next up will be Olga Kosek. On the halfway point of our women's semi-final. Good route so far. No one getting past the box at the moment. But good separation from all the athletes. And that's me, MacRoom1. Come and follow me on Instagram. I'm expecting millions of followers too, please. And thank you to the Tech Native team who are doing all the camera work at these events. They've been doing it all season long. And while we're talking about Tech Native, you should go and check out the documentary On Thin Ice. Episode 0 is available on YouTube right now, and they are making that throughout the season, behind the scenes footage, interviews and more. That will be coming at the end of the season, and cannot wait to watch those episodes. Well, our camera's ready behind the ice, which means our next athlete there is Olga. She's out. She was also competing in the speed finals. Hope she's recovered. From Poland, your teammate. Tell me a bit about Olga. To put you on the spot there. What, as a competitor, what's she like? You know, does she get stressed out in these moments, or is she quite calm?
She's definitely a very serious competitor. She trains a lot. That's her main focus. Drytling competitions. She went to most editions of the European, or like the Open Continental. What's it called? Continental Cup. So yeah, she has a very serious competition mindset.
Yeah, she's super focused and very passionate. She's on the athlete commission as well, so very involved in the politics of the sport as well as the climbing. 23 is the high point. Vivian has been upgraded as we thought she might, so she now jumps above Aneta into the top spot. We narrow down these athletes to just 8 for tonight.
That was the first crux, and she got past it with no problems.
Smooth, wasn't it? Of course, she won't know it was the first crux. She hasn't seen the other athletes compete.
Yes, the Steinpull is not inspiring a lot of confidence.
No, it's not. I'm looking at the edge of that pick.
We can still see the tip of the pick.
Yeah, that was a great shot to show how small it is. Well, now it will feel a bit better as she gets her weight underneath it. But yeah, got to be careful here. Stretches up towards the transition of the roof into 5th. Score getting upgraded as she starts to traverse right. No problems and quick climbing at the moment from Olga.
It is smooth, and smooth is very often fast.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, when you're not hesitating, checking the pick placement 100 times, it makes everything go smoother. Also saves some energy. Looks around the corner, making sure she's got the pick in the right place.
A lot of athletes did a figure 4 on this hold. Yeah, looks like she's going for just going for it.
Ooh, with that Stein, that undercling pulls for a sec. Hasn't really checked it yet. Makes the match. Confident. Gets that clip in. Right, well, this is where we saw Vivian using her hands here. That's all she goes up to, that screw, but it looks better. It feels better than it looks. Eye moves up under the roof here, so she's almost set to go backwards. And this is where most athletes have slowed down around these holds. Into fifth, 18. Okay, well, this is where she'll shake out and make sure she's ready for this physical sequence of moves. This is where the feet really run out. And you can kick up into the box, but it's a long way above your head. But look at this, smooth stuff. Almost gets the axe tangled in the rope. And she drops off. It looked like for a second she almost weighted that rope with the axe.
I think that might be why she came off.
Yeah, I think so too. I think she knew that she was going to get called on it by the judges, perhaps, because it did look like she just got burnt on it.
With the move downwards like this, you always have to be very careful with the rope and your previous tool that you're releasing.
Yeah.
Because if it catches the rope, you're both off because of the rules, but also you can cut the rope, which is even more serious.
Yes, you don't really want that, do you? It's not ideal. Yeah, let's see it again. Yeah, she did get tangled. I think she knew. Yeah, look, she really did weight it. And I think once she knew she got it tangled up enough, it's hard to pass that one off.
Yeah, so it actually caught not on the rope, but on the quick draw. So she was trying to release it like around the rope, but then it got caught on the quick draw and then dropped onto the rope. It's a very tricky situation with so many clips.
Yeah.
And the clips are so long.
Yeah, they're there to prevent rope drag, but you're right, it makes it awkward to clip, and you have to be careful they don't get in the way. So Olga, a bit premature for her run, but that is the halfway spot. She's currently in the finals. Walks off, gets a hug, well, almost hug from her husband, but yeah, I would imagine a bit of frustration coming in. She'll try to debrief and work that one out as the quick draws swing up there on the structure. Well, it's still morning time here in Canada. The athletes got up nice and early, and we're in the building next to us, which is an ice hockey arena, in order to warm up. They then make the transition from the ice hockey arena out into the cold, into our main arena for the ice climbing. And the audience who gather to watch, they get fires that are lit, there's drinks, there's a DJ, it's all a bit of a party here. And you can come and join us tonight for the finals if you happen to be in Edmonton. Pop by, say hello. We're just having our next pause, waiting for the second half of this women's semi-final. Franziska will be out next. Swiss athletes travelling from her own World Cup a couple of weeks ago in Saas-Fee. It's been a busy season this year. It's gone quickly. I remember Korea feels like only a couple of weeks ago. All right, there is Franziska from Switzerland. She's out and about, ready to go.
Still taking the final look at the route. Perhaps planning out the crux sequences.
Yeah, some of the athletes draw pictures, they write down the route, but they've been back in isolation. You just want to remind yourself. Do keep the chat coming. Outdoors with Tommy G, who's addicted to this sport, is being very vocal, which is good to see. Tyler as well. Jan Havel, that was unfortunate, he was saying, yep. Tricky with the rope from Olga. Let's go, Franzi from Patrick. All right, well, Franzi pulls off. She's onto the structure, onto the wall. Low feet around the ice. Big holds, though, to start, just to settle yourself into this route. Nice and precise climbing. Kicks the feet into the hardwood. Locks in the first of the steins. Remember, that first clip is pre-clipped.
So she actually makes the move from first position, which is physically harder, but it was faster for her because she got into it in second, so she didn't have to switch hands.
Explain first position for people who don't understand.
First position is like the lower handle, the one that gives you the most reach, and then second is the one kind of like in the middle of the tool.
And some tools have like 3 handles, some have one just giant bucket. It's all kind of up to the athletes.
Most of the tools have 2 positions, first and second. Some tools do have 3. But it makes climbing very different, so you have to get used to definitely every time you have to get used to your tool.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of training to understand exactly how to use it.
And we saw them from that great shot of how little of the crampons are in the hardwood. They're just using those front points to kick in and stand. You really have to trust your feet here like no other sport. All right, reaches into this first big Steinpool and really confident stuff as she stands up. And you can see the handle there that she's holding on to. That's what you were talking about, the different positions on the handle. Says here, Campoili is on. Apologies for ruining your YouTube name. He's saying his hometown in Edmonton. So we've got a local watching. Why are you watching on YouTube? Come down, join us here. What are you doing? Come and say hello. All right, well, she is up into the first of the angle changes now. 4 minutes on the clock. And in 6th with that 14. We'll soon start to find out who our finalists are as we progress through this women's round. Makes a match. Upgrades the hands on the handle. Oh, but a foot slip cuts loose for a sec. She's right on the edge of that hold as well.
It's really hard to tell what that hold is, but it doesn't look very secure. A lot of athletes opted to do a figure 4 just to be a little bit safer on it. But she's not doing it.
No, she moves through.
She feels strong.
Yeah, committing to this underclink. Adjusts with the hands and makes the clip from down low.
There's a lot of body tension to make sure she doesn't pull down on it.
Yeah, you're right, isn't it? And look, that little bobble gets the figure 4 wrapped in. Trying to get a little more height as she wants to wrap that screw. Not looking 100% confident yet. Oh, there's not much of that axe on either. Has to now weight it, twisting it around. Look at the position changes. That looks better. She kind of worked herself into a better place.
Yeah, those bolts are a little bit better than they look. They have a flat head, so it's like set at a 45 degree to work like what we see. So it has a little bit of a lip.
Yeah, there's enough there for them. It's crazy what they can make work. It's wild. If you're watching this for the first time, you'll understand like how extreme this looks. It kind of blows your mind the first time you watch it. Gets the clips. Let's see if she's feeling powerful. Needs something in the tank for this move. It's a big drop down. This is where Olga had the issue with the quick draw on the rope. No such problems for her lowering down. Much more in control.
Very fast transition to the next hold. She looks like she's opting for not clipping it yet.
So much time on the clock as well. Only 2 minutes left, so she's got plenty of time. Now makes that clip. That looks good.
That looks good.
Well, as we say that, she fumbles it a bit, gets it in now.
It's going to be another figure 9 and 4, and
super smooth at the moment. This is impressive. Cruising up, 22 on the board. This is,
and she did it statically. For the first person to do it statically.
Wow,
that is impressive. And then she gets into a 9. So this is not a good hold. This is just an edge.
Yeah, for the first time, really. I mean, she looks so smooth through the box, but now pauses.
Now she wants to be in second position, so she had to switch, which is always hard in figure 4s and 9s.
Yeah, she's wrapping and re-wrapping these legs.
It's also a little bit awkward on like a vertical box to make a figure 9 or a figure 4.
Yeah, you kind of hit the edge of the box as you come through, and that rope is in a bit of a tricky position underneath. We'll want to flick that around the corner at some point. Big move to come. Just gets it in. Has she got the power to hold it? That rope now flicks out. That will help things. And that is the top spot, the leader position. 24 moves her into number 1. Up above her head. Hasn't made the clip yet, but this is a good wrap.
Yeah, I think now she's in a secure position to clip.
Yeah, managed to move those hips out, really just...
And 10 more seconds to do another move.
Oh yeah, forgot about the time. She is getting timed out here. So not much time left. Wants to make this. We'll get the point 1. And remember, the time isn't exact, so she might have a couple of seconds left. But I think she is done now. Yeah. Oh, watch that leg, please. There we go. Time is called, so she'll just want to make sure she's in the correct position to drop off, not tangled up. There she goes, safely down. All right, 26, our new leader, our new high point from the Swiss athlete. And that might be enough, you know. I'm just having a look.
That is
7 to go.
Enough,
7 to go, yeah, so she is in. So that'll be enough for finals for her. That was good work. Nice and smooth through the box. It was the box really where she made up the time. You know, she was so smooth through those sequences. No issues with the clips.
She's also taller than Anetka, so it was easier for her to do the move to the smart stone. But it was definitely impressive to see her do it statically.
Yeah, I had some strength to burn for sure. Something left in the tank. Well, she'll get that big jacket on and then go and wait in the audience. But we know she's through. First position with 7 to go. And as we scan up our structure, there it is. Got a see-through. A nice position for the photographers to take some shots from. And they do send your support on YouTube. Francie getting a lot of comments coming out. I think quite a few Swiss people watching. I presume you're from Switzerland, maybe not. Thank you for Sasfe a couple of weeks ago. That was a really cool competition. You can go back and watch all of that for free. For free on the UIAA. Almost said too many A's there, but UIAA YouTube channel.
That's why some people say AA just to make sure they don't.
Oh, I could do that, couldn't I? Yes. UIAA. I like that, yeah. I don't want to stick another A in and definitely get fired at that point. Well, we are in Canada, as you can see from that graphic. This is the final comp of the season. I think there's a few nationals to come. I think the Czech team have a national next weekend. But for a lot of people, this is the end of the season. And it has been a good one. We've had the Continental Series going on at the same time. Again, free to watch.
There was a lot of competitions were in there. There's 8 Continental Cups, I think.
Yeah, not all the athletes competing in all of those.
It was not possible to compete in all of them because 2 of them were happening at the same time.
Oh, really? Okay. That was good organisation for someone, wasn't it?
Well, there are different continents.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Well, coming onto the stage, looking quite chilly, is our next athlete, Haruku from Japan. Look, it's very cold there. Hands in the armpits. That's where mine would be as well. It is chilly, but the sun has come out, as you can see, and it does make a big difference when that sun hits the arena.
I think it's probably just making sure that her hands get as much heat as possible before she starts climbing.
Absolutely.
She's also climbing on aluminum tools, and aluminum conducts heat much better than carbon.
Okay.
So her hands will get colder than for those athletes who compete on carbon tools.
Oh, goodness. All right, well, she's got a lot. She's up against a lot then, but she's underway now. So let's hopefully she keeps warm. I think the blood will keep her warm in a bit. Yes, people are saying, how can you watch the finals? The finals are on this YouTube channel if you're watching, so you can, if you subscribe and turn on the notifications, it will tell you when it's coming up, but that is this evening, so you can set in a reminder for yourselves. Don't miss the finals. It is going to be spectacular here.
So she's getting into 3rd position above 2nd, and then matched on 2nd to go up. So that's a little bit of a different technique than we've seen before.
Okay. Yeah, this athlete she's been everywhere this season. She's done a lot of the Continentals as well. She's been pretty much living in Europe. This Japanese team are really coming on.
And she's going to be the 2nd person to not stein this one.
Oh yeah, true. Aneta did this as well, didn't she?
Oh, maybe.
Well, she drops down. Right, well, having a bit of a hesitation. Yes, it is about 3 a.m. Central European time for people asking, so I admit that it is a bit late. That's no excuse. Make yourself a cup of coffee.
Oh, she did stein it in the end.
Yeah, and so confident she stands up, that pick rotating through. Gets the next clip in and done. And yeah, after that, good adjustment from her. She's trying to climb quickly now to make up for that. Sitting in 7th. And we're looking for just 8. As that Stein locked in now. Big kick out with the feet. Four minutes on the clock makes the match. You can see the marks from the, presumably that was the qualifying round in that plywood on the right.
Yeah, I think one of the qualifiers also had a kind of like a similar traverse to the right. That's why the wall looks so chewed up.
Yeah. Yeah, people are asking about that, but it doesn't need replacing that often. All right, 3.5 minutes. No one has really struggled in this section yet, but it's about not over gripping, not getting pumped. You can see her breath fogging in the air there. Up into this undercling that floats around for a while, trying to get the best place of it. There's not really a point on that. You can kind of get it anywhere. But that looks like a good clipping position from there. Adjust the hands. Oh, it's moving around on that axe. And she hasn't quite got the distance yet. I think she's not in the best position yet to make this move.
I think you have to be more on the left side, whereas she's directly under it.
Yeah, well, she makes that adjustment. Now kicks the foot over. It was well done. Didn't panic. So needs 23.1 to secure a place in the final. So she's nearing that on 17 at the moment. That's the first of the blue clips in. A couple of tricky ones to come here. That blue one hanging off the box, as we know, has caused a few problems for a few athletes. Adjustment with the feet now. Right, here we go. Gets this clip out of the way, reaches back. That's the big extended draw to try to prevent some of the rope drag. Getting a gumba from the audience. Alright, so looks back to that blue hold. It's a big move and it is full stretch for her. Watch this drop down. She's got her hand on the right side of the rope. It was good climbing.
Oh, she's gonna make the clip now.
Yeah, it looks really good. I think
this is the best place to clip it.
I agree. Anywhere on that left side of the box.
Either this, or you can wait until the last hold on the box and also clip from there.
Yeah. Well, big move to come over to the right now. Coming up to the minute mark, so she does need to get a little bit of a jog on here. She is up into finals place in 5th. It's 21.1, I think, in order to get through. So she's nearing that. Oh, bit of a wiggle here, trying to... Oh, she leaves it behind. Well, someone was asking about this. This is what can happen. That's okay. She'll want to go back and get it, obviously.
That is okay until it drops. If
yes.
It drops, it is not okay anymore. But this one looks pretty locked.
It does, doesn't it? Well, it's
again one of the situations where the trigger is under the volume.
Well, she went back and retrieved it. Lucky it didn't hit the ground. Kind of got away with that one. But approaching guaranteed finals here. She goes up to the stone, hits it the first time, has the feet wrapped up though. Heel above her head, gets the big forehead, matches, fig 9.
That was actually a really good sequence. That was very efficient.
Time is a factor though, and it's ticking away. She's close to getting timed out here. She'll want to get this clip in, but I think she might be out of time after this. Hits it, gets the swing, gets the clip in. She's still going, so I'm not sure if she has been timed out yet. Must be, yeah, she has been. So, drops down. Good work, and that should be enough for finals for Haruku. 6 to go, up into 2nd, so yeah, that's guaranteed in. Yeah, part of this Japanese Mountain Association, the Japanese team are one to watch for the future. Camera waiting for her down at the bottom. We are trying to get these roving shots, and we can hear the athletes talking sometimes, which is great to hear what's going on. I had to tell one of the judges last night, which they were on camera, and we can hear everything they're saying, and they were quite surprised by that one. Maybe I shouldn't have told him. I like listening into those moments. Well, Haruko leaves the stage. She was in second, getting timed out. But a solid run from her. And you can see now the crowd has been building all morning. They're enjoying the sun.
You could also see a different style between Francesca and Haruko. Francesca had a more powerful style, using more strength and body tension. And Haruko's really efficient with figure 4s and 9s.
Yeah, it was different, wasn't it? And she says goodbye to us. I like that. I think, it's the teapot love heart thing. I don't know what's that called. It's not a teapot.
It's probably a heart.
It is a heart, I think. Well, thank you to Haruko. Tyler's saying good climbing on the YouTube comments. He's also saying the box slows everyone down. Yeah, everyone kind of hits that point, and then things get really tricky there, don't they? Fan Park. I wasn't aware of the name of this park. Yeah, that's where we are. Someone was watching at home in Edmonton, so if you're watching at home, you've now got no excuse not to come and join us. Now you know where we are. Opposite the ice climbing arena, which is in the background. Okay. Well, that artistic shot signals our next athlete out. Wushan Xin, current leader of the overall, having a pretty solid season, got some gold medals along the way, and she's someone who I'd say is a firm favourite to definitely make it into finals here tonight.
That's what we all expect.
We expect it. I hope I haven't just cursed her. We'll find out in a sec, but she's very, very good climber. We'd expect to make short work of sections of this route. Shin into the underclings, nice and positive from her. She's someone who's more than capable, and as you can see on the right there, 200 points in the overall standings. So she's the one to beat here tonight. Can she be a world champion? Can she be the overall champion? You still have to make sure of these moves, and there are some tricky ones down low. But anything can happen. And JJ, that's something that I get told a lot in ice climbing, that, you know, that these early falls that we see, it's just kind of part of the game sometimes.
It sometimes is. Definitely, there is a part of luck in the competition. So even if you're the best climber, you can never be sure. However, obviously, if you're stronger, you can do moves in the more secure and faster way.
Yeah, it comes into play here, and it's what makes it so fascinating, is this sort of unpredictability of this sport. Well, a little bit of a shake there with the axe to make sure it's seated. Reaching up with the left axe. Good work into the angle change here. Plenty of time on the clock as well. Lovely shot there with the sun shining through the structure. She moves into 8th position. Crowd quite tense, watching intently. Makes this match. Good footwork from her, very smooth.
Footwork is really smooth. She's adjusting the pressure and the strength of kicking.
But this hold always frightens me when I see that close up shot. It's not a lot going on there.
No, she's not doing a figure 4. She's going for the more powerful way of doing it.
Yeah, and 23.1 will secure her a place in the final. She's got these modified nomics, so nomic shaft and a different handle bolted on. She goes for the hand grip and keeps that axe reversed. Now changes it.
And that's one of the things. If you're really strong, you can do things like this. You can grab a blob with your hand, and that's more secure. But you have to also use more strength.
Yeah, very true.
Even though there is this part of luck, but on the other hand, if you're strong, you can very often choose the safer option. That costs more energy, costs more strength, but it's safer.
Yeah, and I guess experience as well. Of how much have you got to spend in any moment.
Experience is very important in that sport.
Yeah, well, people are asking about temperature. It was minus 13 this morning before the sun hit the arena, so I still imagine it's hovering around about the minus 10 mark. So not too bad. When she's in an awkward position here, needs to go a bit lower, and now does drop down. But almost for a second messed that up, and she's got to get, well, we think she's got to get this clip in now.
She was thinking about going into figure 4, but then realized she has pretty decent feet, and she doesn't really need to go into figure 4.
Yeah, she made that adjustment, didn't she? Well, she's got the clip in, and this is looking smooth. 2.5 minutes as well, plenty of time.
She's switching to reverse grip. That positions her a lot closer to the next hold.
So smart climbing. Wu Xin moving up into 6th, 22, getting towards that guaranteed final spot. Right leg over, makes the match. And this is where you really need a deep lock off.
And that was, again, static.
She wanted to try to turn that. Hasn't got the good part of it.
I think there is no good part.
It's all bad. Oh, yeah, a bit of adjustment. She's not happy. Wants to wrap it, but it's a tricky wrap in that position.
I think it's just that you have to use it.
Yeah, I think so too. Got to do that.
She probably doesn't like that, but that's the only thing you can do.
Yeah, so a nerve-wracking moment here. Needs to commit to it as well. High feet, just the pick rotating around on that hold. She'll be happy to get the next one in and move away from that stone hold. Real tricky section here. Skating the feet around as well.
It's pretty hard to kick in when you're on this kind of hold that you have to like load straight down. So you have to be really close to the wall. So you don't really have that space as necessarily to like take the swing and kick into the wall.
So much going on, real tenuous. She stands up, gets the next clip. She's got loads of time though. She's guaranteed a finals place now. In 25, and she's making this double clip as well. So this could be a new high point about to happen.
So I believe Francesca got the next hold.
Yeah, she got 25.2. So she got the hold, touched it, and released the bottom axe to get that. That's what Wu Xin's got to do, but a bit of a slip there and a bobble. Feet sliding out.
With 40 seconds to spare, that should not be a problem.
No, but look how overhanging that sequence is, right in the roof now.
Phenomenal
30 seconds at least. And that's the new high point, 26. Solid climb so far, as we'd expect from her, really. She's had a brilliant year, especially in terms of consistency. Flicks those feet around, kicking in underneath the wall. Hanging backwards, but 6 seconds. She's going to come close to getting timed out. Wants to get her hands engaged maybe here, but gets the clip in first. And I think that is time being called. She's carrying on though for the moment.
She does still want to do the last move.
And there I heard time being called. So that's time for Wu Xin. She might have just got the points on that. We'll wait for it to be updated. We'll drop off here. She gets that. Oh no, she's not dropping off. Why not? She's carrying on.
She just wants to climb the route.
Yeah. At some point the belays will pull her off, but they usually let them get the next clip. Yeah, she's realised now she's been timed. Come on, let her get the clip in. There we go. Don't be mean. Okay. Gets it. I thought she was getting short rope then on that clip. Well, she looks down, makes sure, and she is our provisional leader of the semi-final. Wu Xin high up on the wall, the first one to hit the head wall. We move into our top 5 now. Next up, Emir McSwiggan from Ireland. Wu Xin is happy with that. She's just getting confirmation of where exactly she was timed out. Yeah, Emir will be up next from Ireland. I know we had someone watching from Ireland, so do let me know on the chat. Who were you? You still watching? Because you're should be cheering for her in a second when she comes on, so let us know where you are. So I'm joined by JJ here in the commentary box, part of Team Poland. JJ, so this season for you, was it all you expected and wanted it to be?
I was really hoping to make semi-finals this season, but I did not manage to. I had a shoulder injury though, so my expectations were kind of mixed. On one hand, I had trained earlier in the summer a lot, but then I also knew that my training was heavily impacted by an injury.
Oh, I'm sorry. So next year, come back stronger from that injury? Are you looking forward to that already?
We will see how it goes. Yeah,
okay.
I think recovery will take some time.
Do you know exactly what the injury is yet?
I know what it is. I think I will have to have a surgery at some point, and then recovery will take a few months.
Yeah.
So I'm not quite sure if I'm gonna make it back to 100% by the time the competitions start.
Well, we have our fingers crossed for you,
I'm
JJ.
hopeful.
Yeah, I've had a few shoulder surgeries myself, so I feel for you. It's a nasty one to have.
So you had a few, you're saying?
I've had 3, yeah.
For the same shoulder?
Same shoulder, yeah. It's a long way back with that one, but I'm sure you'll be okay. People getting a lot of support for Wushin Shin and for Amir, who will be up next. Sabina getting behind her there. And Sabina is from Korea, living in Edmonton, cheering on Amir, because she's almost Korean. True, so Amir, our next athlete out here on your screen. She lived in Korea for a long time as part of that circuit. Moved back to Ireland, and she tells me that she wants to go back to Korea. She slightly regrets that move. So, and
she is also climbing on Korean tools.
Yes, you're right. And they're highly modified for those tools. She's got this sort of dinosaur-style spike on those.
And 3 handles.
And 3 handles, you're right, yeah, heavily modified. She's in 8th on the overall cup standing, 71. We'll be looking for an upgrade in points on that. Wu Xin way out in front and making finals will help that score again for her. So she is perhaps getting towards being unbeatable for the overall title. We'll have to wait and see. Now, Amir's been less consistent this year. She's missed out on a couple of finals, had a couple of moments, so Sasfei was, I know, a bit of a disappointment. She said how much she seems to always not climb to her best in Sasfei, and maybe one of those self-fulfilling prophecies. So let's hope she's feeling more comfortable here. And I'm saying a name wrong as well, Ema. I keep saying Emir, don't I? Ema.
Yeah, the self-fulfilling prophecy is definitely a thing where, like, if you feel like you're not that the next move or like next hold is not secure, you will approach it with less confidence, and you're actually more likely to fall.
Yeah, it definitely got into her head, I think, in Sasfei a bit. So Ema looking good now, and on YouTube saying Ema climbs at their local wall. So, and apparently she's a brilliant athlete. She is a brilliant athlete. She's training to be a judge as well. She was judging in Champagny. She was saying how interesting it was being on the other side of it, you know, for once, sort of getting the complaints rather than sort of receiving them.
Yeah, it's definitely always good to have perspective and try to look at things from different perspectives. And
yeah, I agree with you. You sort of understand everyone's roles, and also I think it just makes you a better climber as well.
It does.
Well, there we go. 24.1 to guarantee a place. She's more than capable of it. One of the stars of the series. Representing Ireland, and there's that triple grip, great shot. You can see it gives you lots of options in terms of adjustability in your hands.
It definitely is a lot of options. You have to learn how to use them, because if you have too many options, you can very easily get confused. But once you master a tool like this, you can do a lot with it.
Yeah, she's one of the few athletes to have that triple setup. So into the overhang now. Tenuous hold. This is the hold that gives me the creeps here. This right one. Do not like that hold. I'd move through it as quickly as possible. So little of the pick is actually on that thing. There we go. It just looks nasty. She's got her leg wrapped over now. Getting lots of support on YouTube as well.
With those 3 positions, you can see how like each position has slightly different properties. Like you're more secure on the middle one, less secure on the higher one, but you're also closer to the next hold. There's really a lot of decisions you have to make.
Yeah, you're right. Those kind of extra options means you have to have more to think about. And she has this in a very strange position. She's far on the left of it.
She's as high as she can be on this hold.
Yeah. Different, and high on the next one as well. Has to get the clip in as well. Adjusts her feet. And now she gets the clip by her waist, so an easy clipping position. Remember, into the 24s to guarantee a gold. Gets the first of the wraps. Underneath the roof now. Long draws to come before moving right to that box. And that box has caused all manner of difficulties. We've seen athletes getting tangled up, caught on the edge of it. Big stretch to come here. Lots of tension required as she gets herself set. Drops down on that right axe, holds the barn door. And he can get so disorientated at this point because, you know, it's in a different position. You're suddenly leaning back behind you.
Yeah, sometimes it's not clear whether you want to open up to the left or to the right. And then it might have a lot of consequences of how you have to do the next moves.
Yeah, and we saw, talking of consequences, really trying to fight that left axe out. That will cost her a little bit of energy here. And we do think that this next clipping position is quite important. She spots the clip, drags the rope over, but it's awkward from there. We're having to fight for the first time, really.
Looks like this tool is not going to get stuck on the edge.
No, true. We're seeing, yeah, the handle gets stuck for a lot of climbers. Right, sorts the feet out. Less than a minute, so not as fast as some. And it still has a bit of work to do before guaranteeing. Ooh, sliding the axe down the rope. Got to be careful of that. And a real precise move to come here. Big up towards the stone. She immediately spots that, and we saw Wushin trying to fiddle it, trying to get aside the wrap in, but no such difficulties for Ema.
Well, I think Ema just accepted that this hold is not so good.
Yeah, true. Come to terms with it.
And she now climbs to the third position.
Moves up into fourth as well. 16 seconds though. I don't think she's guaranteed as yet. Now she might be. 24, starting to climb quickly. She knows the time is ticking away here. Up towards the next big wrap, and that's a good hold. Well, she's going to get timed out soon, but we think that's probably enough for finals. That's the clip in. Took a while on that, but there we go. She has secured a place in the final, so done enough. That Satsve curse broken from a couple of weeks ago. Ema's back. And she will be climbing later on this evening, so she'll have this afternoon to go away and recover, get warm, have a hot chocolate, as someone suggested, and then come back for the finals later on. Good work from Ema.
Very good performance.
Let's hear what she has to say here. Our camera team on the ground, picking up these behind-the-scenes moments. And immediately she says nothing. So but if she said something, we were right there. Breathing deep as our belay undoes that note. The climbers have to climb on a figure of 8 knot, and it does get locked up pretty tight. And when you're as pumped as these athletes are, then it's pretty full on. I'm here with JJ in the commentary box from Team Poland. There's Rob. Says hello, one of our main organisers here at the UIAA. Let's have a listen. Oh, it's nice to see. Rob just confirming she's first. There's one of our setters. Fist bump. I think he was waiting a long time for that fist bump. Thought it was going to be left hanging. Let's have a listen. Oh, that's nice to see. As Annetta, the speed world champ, as we said earlier on.
I was so confused with the under.
I just noticed she's wearing Irish green.
She is, and someone commented on that actually, saying go on the green earlier on.
The green under, yeah.
Well, that is the ice rink that is next to the wall, which has been set up, and you can see there's toboggans and lots of places to play on there for our audience as we flick around to our next athlete out, Marion Salmon Thomas, who will have the sparkly face paint, I'm pretty sure. She has done all season. All right, quick start from her. Another young legend in this sport. 8 lead podiums, 1 speed podium to her name. She's no stranger to it, and sitting in second position with 120. She's going for Wushin Xing's overall title. needs to get into the finals first of all. High move. Is she wearing... I don't know, I thought it was an ear warmer there she had on, but I think it's just a headband. People ask whether the athletes have heated gloves or like heat pads in, but no, generally not. Those gloves they wear are very thin and they want not to have anything moving around in those gloves, so you just have to suck it up.
You definitely want the most precision you can have. And it's not really a problem to stay warm for 5 minutes.
No, it's okay, isn't it? Well, 23 to guarantee a place in the final. So correction from earlier on, that was. So 23 needed. Yeah, people are talking about whether they can see it. No, so the athletes stay in isolation. It's the same as in an IFSC comp. So the phones are taken away. So they don't see the others climb these routes. They can't learn from others' mistakes. That is different from the qualifying round where they have a video and they get to watch. Semi-finals, it starts to be this on-site format. Same for the finals as well. His first big moves to settle in. Look at the French flag tape on the end. That's cool.
I think that's what most of the French climbers have. The Swiss climbers have a kind of like a Swiss flag sticker on their tool.
Yes, you're right. Yeah, on the head of the axe. Polish team, what do you guys do?
I don't think we have a code yet.
Oh, you've got to get one, man. There's yellow and blue possibilities here. Yeah, it's nice to see the athletes sort of adapting their kit to show a bit of national pride. Right, up into the overhang. My nasty hold. There it is. No one's fallen off my nasty hold yet, but I don't like it.
I think it must be one of those situations where it's better than it looks.
Yeah.
So everyone is scared of it, but no one actually popped.
Yeah, no one's gone yet, but we don't want a cursor here. I've got to be careful. I've caused falls before, for sure. Using a hand in order to get that fig four wrapped in above her head and immediately into the reverse grip. Floating time. Or undercling to start with. Now, it's so fascinating, isn't it? Wu Xinshin had it like that, like far over on the left.
Mm-hmm. It seems like the right side of it is better.
Oh, she's committing to it now. Big layback, but a couple of tenuous moves. She's being very cautious as she pulls on this tool. As that left knee dropped down a bit. Locking off that right arm, blowing hard. She's having to fight here a little bit. I think she'll have a moment to breathe here.
It definitely does not look like an easy move, and then still, like, the more secure you want it to make, the harder physically it's going to be.
Yeah, agreed. Well, up she reaches, wraps the next hold. It's good though, 2 minutes 20 on the clock, sorry, 2.5 minutes on the clock, so she's got lots of time. Sometimes it's difficult to know whether an athlete's struggling or whether they're just sort of fighting hard for a moment. Leans back up behind her to check out that next hold.
Yeah, sometimes it's really hard to tell the time from how people climb.
Yes.
Some people have a style that just looks really fast, but it really is not. And some people have a style that looks really small, it's really slow, but it's so smooth.
Yes.
That they don't actually ever make a move twice.
Yeah, you're very right, yeah.
Keep going at a steady pace.
Well, she did have a bit of a clipped fumble there. She dropped the rope out, and now she's doing this really high and trying to unflick, drop down. Had two thoughts in her mind before committing to one method here. Moving up towards a guaranteed finals position. Couple of holds to go, though, first of all.
So in qualifiers, some people were able to grab the edge of that box from the top. And now we can see some red tape on the edge.
Okay, so they've learned. The setters taping that section out. Yeah, you're right, you can see that red tape. So, yeah, with the rule change, you can now climb on top of the boxes. Setters have a lot to think about. But Marion has that clip in, which is good. But this is probably one of the most powerful moves on the route. Oh, that axe nearly bobbled off then. Flicks over to the right.
It is an edge, though, so I think you can rotate the axe sideways.
Yeah.
However, it definitely looks scary.
Definitely. She immediately changed it back as well as soon as possible. All right, standing up tall. Big side pull locked in. About 30 seconds-ish to go, and that should be into the finals for her as well, with 3 to go.
Now the holds are getting less technical, so I think you can move faster through this section.
Yeah, reaches up with the reverse grip, wrapping around that screw. Drops back. Time is a factor, though. She's got a finals place, of course. And this is to determine position and count back and all of that. So semi-finals is important. Well, our time has gone, which means she's got a couple of seconds, though, left, probably. And I think now she's been timed. Yeah, and she'll come down off that. So, finals position in third, 25 scored, 3 to go before this women's semi-final wraps up. And we move on to the men's semi-final later on. This route proving real tricky. No one getting near to a top yet. So tell us, JJ, the men right now, they'll be getting themselves ready to compete. So how long before you start climbing do you get yourself warmed up and ready to go?
About an hour at least. Yes, it takes some time. I think for me the biggest problem is to like not overthink the route, because you have so much time to think about it that like if you just keep thinking about it, you're gonna drive yourself insane.
So you kind of want to put it to one side, so have it in your brain but not focus on it.
It's you have to keep some balance. You have to like figure out the plan and stick to it, but also not overthink things. Like once you start overthinking, you will lose your confidence basically.
So if you got a section you don't quite understand, you don't want to be sort of fixating on that. It could put you off of it.
Well, you have to think through that section, but then it's good to come up with a plan and just like stick to it and not think about it again.
Well, sirens go in the background. We are in the middle of the city here. I quite like them. They're a bit atmospheric. It adds to the extreme nature of this sport. And we've got 3 athletes remaining for this women's semi-final. And the men, as we just said, will be warming up, getting themselves ready. Be a bit of a break. Actually, when is the semi-final? Let me just check the exact time. I think it's 1:30 it kicks off for the next round. Yes, 1:30 is the men's semi-final. So that'll be later on. And then this evening we have the final rounds. And do not miss that. There's the top of the wall. You can see it indicated. And to get a top, you have to match the final hold and get the last quick draw in. So a bit different. Snatched rest match we see often. There's 3 tops there. One of them will be for the final later on. And then there's the women and the men's top, left and right. That is the ice that's waiting at the bottom. There we go. See, 1:30 MST time. What is MST time? Mountain
Standards.
Mountain Standards time. There we go. Okay, Catalina Shirley is on for the USA. She's had a great season as well. Been high up on the podiums a few times now. Did well in UIAA as well. Certainly one to watch for this. We'd expect her to make finals.
Oh, she's the second one to skip that second hold in the ice.
Oh yeah, true. Straight through it, eh? I was questioning. I saw Marianne van der Steer, who's out. Steen, who's out next. She was really questioning that starting position, making sure for the judges. Yeah, Catalina up into the first Stein pool. Nice and smooth. Let us know on the chat if you're supporting USA. Are you watching from America? I was over in Boulder recently, and I know a lot of people at the ice co-op there, the ice scoop. Yeah, lots of people cheering from Colorado. Katie Shirley, who we think is Catalina's mum. Comes on quite a few times. Lots of support. Go Cat! So yeah, good to hear, everyone. Do keep your support coming on YouTube. It's good to know when they watch this back that they are having people cheering their name at home. Smooth work. 23 to guarantee a finals place. She won't know that, but it's good for us to know it. Team Ice Cube represent. Yes, I'm sorry I couldn't come this weekend. I tried, but I couldn't get there. Next time I'm in Boulder, I will check it out, I promise. Fast work here. Catalina, she rotates into this Stein pool, locks it off with 2 hands. Such a big move, that, isn't it? When you see her beneath it.
It is. She's extremely smooth.
Yeah, you're right. It was like power and poetry in motion there as she stood up tall. Onto the traverse now. Fast climbing. Only a minute and a half gone. onto the looks bad but is okay wrap. Catchy name, eh?
You can see how she hesitated whether she wants to be on second or third position.
Ooh, and she lost her feet for a set. Readjusts, gets that foot kicked in. She's got tape wrapping her fruit boots closer, making sure the fit. She looked like she wanted to readjust that, but decided to stick with it. Big wrap. And this is fast climbing from her. She's really moving quickly down low.
That's one of those the examples of where she doesn't actually move so fast, but she is so smooth and she makes decisions so fast.
Yeah.
That she gets through it really, really quickly.
Yeah, you think she's slow and you look at the time and you realize how fast she's gone. Really good work from her here.
There's almost no hesitation, and she makes a decision and she sticks with it.
Right, gets the long draw in. She's already looking at the next hold. Eyes flicking behind her. Has a reverse grip in, shakes out that right arm, trying to get rid of a bit of pump before committing to these physical moves to come.
She still has 3 minutes, which is really good.
Yeah, it's fast. Gets the drop down, no problems from her, didn't even think about it. But there's a tricky clip to come. She needs to have spotted this. She's looking at it. I think she has seen this clip. Yeah, gets it in. Okay, that's another danger zone gone. This is good work from her. 2.5 minutes. Traverse and a powerful, precise move to come now. Needs to get that axe. Oh, it is twisted around the rope here. She could be in a bit of trouble now. Tries to flick it. It's really wedged in on that handle. Look.
Yes, this is always a stressful situation.
Yeah, she's in ninth, so not guaranteed. Just holds the fall. Oh, that was a risky moment.
Kind of like an extra move for her to go back and get the axe.
Absolutely, yeah, and she's not guaranteed a finals position here, so fingers crossed if you're watching at home. This is a big moment. Reaches up, now might be in. Not guaranteed, of course, 2 to go. Up to 6th, though. So now she should be okay.
She used the previous hold as a foothold.
Oh yeah, wrapping a heel hook in there. Look at that. You rarely see that, to be honest. It's a full heel in, I like that. What climbing style. Still got loads of time left. I thought she might have been a bit slow there, but a minute and a half on the clock at least. Up to the good wrap. Locked in now. Finals place is guaranteed. Kicks that draw around her hand. She'll have to flick that back over in order to get it clipped in.
She has so much time.
Yeah, this is going to be a high head wall finish if she can keep it together. 27 is Wushin Xing's high points. Keith, supported on YouTube. Keep it up, he's saying. Yeah, exactly. Catalina doing really well here. Gets that far left wrap. What a climb from her. Never been a moment where she's looked unsure.
No.
Has she got some power for this move? It's a big one. Locks it in. Thugging this move out. Wraps the hand around the middle handle. Big boost up. Misses it the first time. Slips. Cuts loose and eventually falls. That axe watched in the hold. First position, though, as it stands. 27 on the board. Great work, Catalina. I think that axe is never coming out of that hold. It's there forever. It's a feature now.
And she still had 30 seconds to spare.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
That was a good run, wasn't it? Real smooth from her. Let's see some replays of that then. This was the move around the corner where she got it jammed. That was the only real moment she had on the route, but saved it well.
And that was more of a specifics of her tools than her own performance.
Yeah, true. It's just one of those things, wasn't it? And this was getting the quick draw wrapped up high. Easy to flick out, though. No problems caused there. Good run, good work. There you go. See the ice axe never coming out. That's it.
It's in a very secure stein.
It's a hard place to get that from. I don't think they've got one of those big pole things we've seen at other events. So someone's going to have to be climbing around on that structure for that one.
Nice job, dude.
Well, made finals with the one tool.
True. Yeah. I'm just listening in here.
Yeah. How was it? I got
Just trying to stay quiet. I hope you like these moments at home. I love hearing what the athletes say.
It's okay, I told everybody else there's a power screen. I just think you're a badass.
And making your way to the start of the women's semi-final race, we have Marianne Vandersteen.
What made you nervous?
Wearing
My
number
foot went on the
24.
roof.
Okay. No, you didn't get that was smart. Yeah.
Thank you.
There you go. Support from the coaches. Well, one of our setters is hanging precariously out on the structure. He has got a poley thingy. He'll flick that axe, make it fall down. Watch out, everyone. Heads up. All right, well, axe removed. 2 athletes to go. Marianne Vandersteen up next from the Netherlands, who's had general van problems all year. I presume she flew here, so the van won't be an issue, I hope.
I think I wouldn't call them problems. They just modify their vans all the time.
Yeah,
So that's I think part of the expected behavior.
possibly. I think the turbo going, trying to drive up a mountain road, though, was problematic.
I think it's always problematic when you're trying to modify gear and it doesn't work quite the way that
true.
you want. But that's part of the fun.
Yes, yeah, fair enough. I'm not sure if they'd quite frame it like that, but I do know what you mean. Well, she's had bag issues as well. She's had one of those seasons where it just luck hasn't necessarily come together at the right time, so she's owed a bit of luck here. She had this moment in South Bay where she kind of forgot where she was going, read a move wrong and made it into an absolute nails move because she forgot about some ice she could have used. So had to really put that behind her. She's struggled a little bit, so she needs a good run here. Fingers crossed from her. She comes up into the starting holds.
To be fair, there was so much ice and just random places in South
Yeah.
Bay. It's kind of like easy to miss.
Oh,
but
super easy
part
to
of the
do, yeah.
decoration.
Watching it, I didn't know what she was doing. I'd forgotten the ice was there as well because she was so committed to trying to do this crazy move that we thought in the commentary box as well that she was going the right way.
It's just so strong that she almost made the move.
Yeah, almost an insane thing. But she's in 4th in the overall standings. You can see on the right, 112 points at the moment. We'll be looking to get a few more on the board here. Just Sina Gertz after Marianne to go. There is Dennis, her husband, who chipped his tooth. Everyone seems to be chipping tooths. Teeth. Good English there, Matt. Brilliant. But yeah, everyone seems to. He's got a chip on the front of his tooth.
I think he is trying to bite his tool and he miscalculated how far his teeth are from the tool or something.
Yeah, he's the 3rd person. There was a gentleman who broke his jaw yesterday. He chipped his tooth, and I know Annetta chipped her tooth biting into a hot dog.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Just a little fact for you. So it's dangerous, this ice climbing. Ice climbing and hot dog eating, lethal for the teeth. Right, she needs to settle in here, gets those feet kicking onto the wall.
So she actually slipped from that 10th hold, but it was already after she got the 11th.
Yeah, so she had a bit of a low moment on that bottom crux, but she is safely through it now. But yeah, not quite settled yet, I don't think.
This is the unsettling Stein.
Oh, it is, and look at that rotation there. Real deep lock-off and committed to it, but made it work. Traverse to come now. Kicks the feet over to the right. Gets that draw locked in. Okay, well, Traverse to come now. 3 minutes 50 on the clock. YouTube, you've got a bit quiet on me. Don't leave me hanging here. Give some support to Marianne if you're watching. Let me know where you're watching from in the world. I know we had people from all over earlier on. Alaska was the furthest away I could see, although I suppose not far away from here. So the weirdest place you're watching from wins a prize. The UIAA will send you ice axes or something, I promise.
I believe Alaska is still really far from here.
Is it?
I think so.
Okay. I'm confused by distances in North America. I get a bit lost.
I mean, it kind of makes sense that Alaska is so far north, and we are also far north.
Yeah.
But actually, Edmonton is the same latitude as Warsaw or London.
Ah, okay. So yeah, a lot more north to go.
Yeah, we're actually not that far north.
Yeah, well, it's a bit of a frozen wonderland up here, wherever we are in Canada anyway. But yeah, you're right. We are kind of south down on the border, near the border anyway. Right, Roof to come. Backwards climbing to go. 23 to guarantee a finals place. She's on 18 at the moment. Cheering from New Jersey. Okay, that's our current winner, I think, New Jersey. That is Nicholas from New Jersey. Can you beat that? Have we got any Australians watching? New Zealand, maybe? Marianne needs to do this big stretch, drop down. She's super powerful. Will enjoy these kind of moves. Flicks the feet over, kicks into the box. Oh, but she's dropping down in that fig four already locked in. Seen people do that differently.
I think the figure four is not necessary, but if you're strong enough, it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, no one else really doing that move. And gets this clip in, but it is awkward. Wiggles it in, gets it now. Simon is in Jasper watching, deciding not to go climbing so they can watch. That's commitment. Sacrificing personal climbing to watch these guys. I agree with that decision. Someone from Germany, Thomas from Germany. Right, Marianne dropping into this traverse move here. Precise one to come. Poland's being represented. So Marianne with a minute and a half does have time, but she's not as quick as some. In 10th at the moment. Couple of moves to go before guaranteeing that finals place.
She's trying to be really intentional with this hold.
Yeah, almost hanging here. This is such a...
And she's the second person to use the heel hook.
Oh, yes! I love the heel hook beta.
But now she wants to be in the second position, but with the other hand.
That heel hook's brilliant.
Switch, and she's switching.
People watching from Slovenia and Germany on the chat. Now Marianne wraps the left leg over. And that is finals place secured in 7th with 1 to go. Ooh, teeters those legs through, skittering around on that box. You can hear Dennis in the background supporting her.
I think she kicked her shin.
Yeah, she did, looking a bit shaky there for a moment, but she's set now. Just awkward position on that box.
It is. It's never easy on the boxes. You can't place your feet where you want them. There are sharp edges all over the place. It's never easy on the boxes.
No, there's a lot going on, isn't there? All right, reaches above her head, gets the draw in. Big, powerful kick above her head. About 19 seconds left, up to 5th position now. Dennis giving some encouragement in the background, letting her know that time is going. 7 seconds on our clock. That's definitely the code, isn't it? He's screaming at her, encouraging her up. Well, she's timed out now. She'll want to get this clip in, I think. Or she'll drop down. I think she might be done. Well, good work. She's guaranteed a finals place. In fact, into first position, according to that scoreboard, with 27. With 1 to go. That was a great performance from her.
It's always very impressive to see athletes speed up for the last 10 seconds.
Yes.
They're hanging in the roof for so long.
Agreed. It's like they find a sort of third wind up there and suddenly have more to give. It's incredible to watch. Well, there's our camera running across. Careful that ice. Let's hear what she has to say. Is that breathing heavy? She looks a bit disappointed, but she's done well. She's in first position. Our camera team have been... I really love this roving camera we have. Marianne grabs her stuff, gets those warm clothes on as fast as possible. She'll know she needs to save something for tonight's final now.
I'm getting fun. Only now. Took a while. Oh well. Hopefully it's enough.
It is enough. Trust us. You're in. You're safe. She was saying it's interesting. So obviously the pump, I think maybe that implies she wasn't 100% warm coming into that, had to climb herself into the route. In fact, she kind of got pumped when she was back down on the ground.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to warm up, especially in the morning.
Yeah. I mean, I had about 4 cups of coffee and I still couldn't ice climb, so it's tough, and it's early starts. People saying Jan Havel, Anetta's pushed out. Yeah, I think Anetta has gone from the top 8 now. She's down, our ice world champ.
So, Matt, do you think you will want to try the routes after the competition?
People keep asking me this. I would genuinely love to try the routes. Yeah, I'm actually around tomorrow, so we're doing an extra day's filming, so there's a potential there. So maybe we could do some filming of me on a route. I've entered before. I entered the European Continental Cup years ago, which was a lot of fun. So, like, I do vaguely know what I'm doing out there, but obviously not to your standard. But I would love to have a go and just get.
Yeah, I think it's always interesting to look at the route, look at so many competitors, and then see what those hulls really are, how they feel.
Yeah, exactly. Until you experience it. And if you're watching this thinking, oh, they're making it look easy, they are, but it's so difficult. Okay, final athlete out, Sina Gertz, qualifying in first place. So she's got the privilege of going last. Already in third for the World Cup standings with 117 points. So she'll be wanting to get on the podium and has potential to take the win. 100 points awarded for a win, so she's got a chance here this evening to walk away with the overall. But needs to make sure of the bottom of this route. Risky moves round about the 10 mark. Gets those feet adjusted in, reaching up into that high stein. Bit of a wiggle. Big committing move down low, that one. Had a very good season, especially in Chambéry. I'm well there. And her score is being bumped up. You can see the leaderboard on the left of your screen. So according to that, Marianne, for one point, was on the top spot. Wu Xinxin seems to have moved back to the top spot now. So, as we said, these scores are provisional. Things get changed and as they get inputted into the system. Ooh, a bit of a right leg slip.
Yeah, a lot of the times there is like a move that you do at the very last second, and then you have to go back to the video and review whether it was in time or after.
Yeah, during Sasfe we had 2 athletes change from our semi-finals finishing, so it can happen. Nick has been training to climb the Devil's Tower this fall. Awesome. Watching IFSC for motivation. Super happy to see some live ice climbing. Awesome, Nick. Well, I'm glad we can provide a bit of ice climbing for you. It has been a fun season. Sina, got to be careful not to kick your own rope there. Starting to speed things up now. Just under 4 minutes to go.
She made this move look really easy.
She did, didn't she? I think it is a pretty good hold for them, that. They're certainly confident on it. This next wrap you have to be a bit more careful with. Right, the double clip is done. Now, just this drop-down move. We saw Marianne get the Fig 4 when she dropped down. No one else really doing that beat-up. I think it makes it pretty powerful getting that Fig 4 in before, but we'll see. Leaning back, shaking out that left arm now. There's a little check of the hold. It does feel like a long way, and you've got to be sure of the range because it's hard to get a sighter on it.
I think she's considering many options now. You can reach in second position, which makes it easier to release, but then harder to reach, or you can do the opposite.
Yeah, she did have a think about it, but got it in. Needs to get this clip or see. Flicks that left axe out for a second, has a moment, but managed to hold it. There is the hold above her head as she wraps the leg again. Gets that clip locked in.
And a lot of athletes do a reverse position on second grip, or the reverse grip on second position, which positions their body the like 180 degrees the other way, closer to the next hold. A lot of them don't do it. Looks like she is actually going to go from first position to first, which still positions her body in the wrong way, but she's closer to the next hold.
I've just seen the biggest YouTube name I've ever seen, which is Johan and Gertrude van Hoek and Kuyeman, who is Dennis's father, we think, who's on the YouTube chat. So saying, great coaching for Dennis, our son, and Marianne, great climb. Yes, Johan, awesome name as well. Sorry, I butchered the pronunciation. Sina struggling for a second. She's outside of the top 8 at the moment, in 11th. Powerful. Being told I've nailed the pronunciation from the production team. I'm not convinced by that. Cena with the heel hook again. There is some rubber on those fruit boots. You can use it, but it is an unusual move.
You can definitely use the heels. They're pretty much just as good as on rock climbing shoes.
Yeah, it's very different from mountaineering boots, those holes. They're called fruit boots, and they're thinner. Spam saying how amazing the movement is. Yeah, it's incredible, isn't it? Look at this, really rocking on that heel. Wiggles that axe into the good place. This is so awkward here, though. That's finals place. She's in. So the overall title is still there. She's standing right up with that right foot on the hold. Stretches. Fumbles the clip the first time. Wraps it in the second. This is still good. She's still got time. Leaning back now on that wrap. 30 seconds. And 25 scored. She could approach the high zone here. About 30 seconds. She stands up tall, shaking out. Oh, that quick draw causing problems. She wrapped the leg over.
Got the floor and just transitioning to the next hole.
Yeah, wiggles to make sure. It's a good one though. Commits to it. Over on the left, feet in space.
Now she has to.
Oh, and falls. But she's in fourth. She won't know it yet. So Wu Xin, according to that score, will progress in first position. Sina Gertz, our last athlete out. She's into the finals in fourth. We'll wait for the final top 8 as we have it before we say goodbye to you. And while you are having a little bit of a break, make sure that you stick the notifications on in the background. Subscribe to the channel while you're there, because you do not want to miss the men's semi-final. I will excuse you if you're in Europe, because it is starting to get late out there, but watch the semi-final, and then maybe, if you can't stay up till 3 in the morning, you can watch us again tomorrow, but hopefully you can join us. You will get extra points if you're watching at 3 a.m. Jan Havel, I'm expecting you there. Jan Havel, one of our regulars on the YouTube chat. So Sina gets her jacket on as we wait for the last of the results. We're waiting for the results. Scott Morgan saying he's really enjoying the wall and the competition. Great, Scott. Lovely for you to join us. Nick Ferrin saying, good job, Sina. Yeah, indeed. Well, let's have a look at our scores, shall we? This is our top 8 as things stand. Remember, they can change sometimes. So Wu Xin, first place. Catalina Shirley. Marianne van der Steen in third position. Sina Gertz, we just watched her in fourth. Francisca in fifth. Ema McSwiggan in 6th, Marianne Salmon Thomas 6th, and Haruku in 8th. So two draw 6 places. And after that, Vivian moving down to 9. Annetta, the world champion speed climber, knocked out of the finals. As we look down our list of the ones who haven't made it through of our 16 women who climbed this morning. Well, we will say goodbye in a minute to the women's round of the competition. The right-hand side of our lead wall will be in action in a couple of hours. For the men's lead competition, 1:30 we're kicking off, Canadian time, MST, as we found out earlier on, and you can see on the right there, the wall. Well, we're going to say goodbye. Thank you to JJ for joining us. We'll be back very soon for the men's competition. Have a wonderful afternoon.
I don't know, you keep wanting to go back and you can never stop.
I've been dreaming of winning World Cups, or at least being able to stand on the podium of a World Cup.
What makes a champion? I mean, I think it's about kind of being able to perform at the highest level and dealing with some fairly kind of tenuous conditions.
You're not happy with the place until you're at the top. Yeah, last season was almost like a comedy show.
It kind of did take over my life then for quite a few years.
It's the fierce version of everything.
If it goes their way on the day, they could all easily be up there on the podium.
And it is a big family that kind of hate each other.
What?
1, 2, 3, 4.